Hello guys, Crispy here, welcome back to another video. In this one, my friends, I'm gonna be testing a GeForce RTX 4090 in Dragon Age, the Veilguard. This one is the Asus Strix version of the card. We are running it with the latest Nvidia drivers, and I'm not manually overclocking it. You can see all of its specs right here in Tech Power-Ups GPU-Z, and over on the left, I'm pairing it with the Ryzen 9 7950X 3D CPU with half of its cores disabled, making it pretty much the same as a Ryzen 7 7800X 3D. And over on the memory tab, I'm using 32GB of DDR5 6000 mega transfers per second RAM in dual channel CL30. Let's get into it, shall we? Let's go over the settings first. I am starting at 4K resolution, and we're utilizing no upsampling at the moment, no DLSS frame generation, and no anti-aliasing. We got TAA, low, high, and DLAA over here to utilize, as well as FSR native AA, but I mean, you got DLAA, so just use that with the 4090. But I'm starting with it off just to see how much of a performance hit DLAA has, and we're using 100% resolution scaling. The dynamic resolution is turned off, and over on the graphics settings, I have set it to Ultra, and I have disabled the ray tracing right here. As you can see, ray trace reflections, ambient occlusion, and Ultra ray tracing are disabled at the moment, but I will also try them out in this video, of course, a little bit later. Down here, I also disabled the vignette and motion blur, but that shouldn't really impact FPS, and let's go ahead and continue. And well, I have been playing the game in the city area. Now I just got to this forest area, which looks very interesting, super detailed as well. Like, it has a lot of vegetation, as you can see, and I guess the developers did a really good job, because even with ultra settings, without ray tracing, native resolution at 4K, with this amount of vegetation, it isn't really that intensive. Okay, let's fight this guy. Oh boy, alright, let's go. Okay, good job. Oh, little cutscene right here. Of course, this game is full of cutscenes like these, but they are rendered inside of the game as well, so we can see the FPS still, and over there with some effects it did drop into the 50s, but again, it's a cutscene, so it doesn't really matter too much, I guess. And we're back here. I need to start counting the FPS again. I'm playing with a controller, by the way, today. That's something new that I don't usually do in the channel, but I started playing this with a controller yesterday, so I got used to the controls here. And well, let's just run for it, I guess. Up into the 100 FPS mark at the moment. And what is this? Wait, let me just collect that. Common material. Okay. Maybe we should go in that direction, but I want to explore a little bit in this direction as well. You can see the water also looks pretty decent in this game. Not the most amazing water, but I mean, I prefer to have very good FPS and not very beautiful water, although this one is pretty beautiful still. But, you know, I prefer having these graphics, I guess, than super demanding graphics like something like Bodycam, for example, which are also very, very blurry and noisy, and they also tank down your FPS like crazy. So this is way better, you know, it's decent optimization right here for what I can tell. Let's go over here. No stuttering as well. Only when you go into like cutscenes and stuff like that, there is a little stuttering happening sometimes, but while you're playing the game, it is pretty damn stable from what I can tell here as well, with the 4090 and the Ryzen 9. I actually played through the entire city area, you know, the starting area, with another system, with the Ryzen 9 7945HX processor, mobile chip. It was in the Atomen G7 PT, the Minisforum mini PC, and things were a bit stuttery there, not gonna lie, guys, okay? But here, it's buttery smooth, good stuff. Alright, let's fight these guys over here. What is this? Okay, I don't care. Let's go. Companion abilities. Yeah, alright, it's this thing. Let's check this out, I guess. Okay, alright, let's go. And let's fight this one finally. Alright, cool stuff. Oh, there's more. Okay. I really like this attack, you know, from above. There we go. Disrupt them bastards. Okay, good. Alright, what is this? Current quest, I don't care. Let's continue here. Yeah, if you want that native resolution experience, guys, with very good FPS, basically like, what, 70 plus all of the time, it is thankfully going to happen if you have the best system available. Obviously, this is what an RTX 4090 system should do in pretty much every single game, right? But yeah, in a lot of newer titles, unfortunately, that's not what's happening. You know, it is very, very crappy indeed. What is this? Okay, pick up. Let's go. Got it? Yes. And now we just gotta bring it over here. Yes, place it there. Thank you. Thank you. And now we should have a bridge. Yes, there we go. Good stuff. But you get the idea, right? It is a very stable, very pretty experience, actually. The bloom might be a little bit too much, but I guess it's an art style choice. All right, so what I'm going to try next over here is DLAA, but let's check out the FPS with the anti-aliasing off first. So over here we're getting 99 frames per second, and if I enable DLAA, we lose a lot of FPS, guys, as you can see. And I mean, the game didn't really look aliased or anything at native resolution, so just take that extra performance, disable DLAA. In my opinion, it's worth doing, alright? Because you get closer to 100 frames per second, it's going to be an overall smoother experience, and here I'm not really seeing that big of a difference to the image quality, which is interesting, you know, because supposedly with native resolution without any anti-aliasing, and with this amount of vegetation around, you'd see a lot of aliasing happening, but here, well, I can see a bit of aliasing, obviously, compared to DLAA, but it's not bad. I mean, it's actually really, really good looking at native resolution. It seems like it already has some sort of anti-aliasing applied. And it's a better AA than like TAA, or at least it looks way better than TAA. So yeah, this is a better experience, I guess, without any DLAA enabled, in my opinion. And now let's enable quality DLSS, check it out here, without frame generation. So this is upscaling from 1440p resolution to 4K resolution. And I think it looks very, very similar to DLAA. I can tell that it's not as sharp as it was at native resolution, but it is surprisingly close. And I think with this amount of vegetation, by the way, YouTube compression is just gonna wreck everything in terms of visual quality. Oh, there's a crow over there. Can I hit the crow? Oh. Okay. He doesn't die. Invincible crow. Yeah, I mean, if you want a little bit faster of an experience, you know, a little bit smoother of an experience, I'm gonna start counting the FPS as well, you can enable DLSS and you'll have just that, of course. It gets you like, what, 20 more frames per second, maybe 25 more frames per second than what we were seeing before. This is pretty good. It's very stable, once again, no stuttering. Feels buttery smooth on a high refresh rate monitor as well. I am using a 120 Hz monitor at the moment, and it feels fantastic here, even with the controller, okay? Obviously, if I play with mouse and keyboard, can I? Yeah, there we go. Ooh. You can feel the high refresh rate way better now. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, this is lovely. Oh, boy. Okay, pick this up. Veil Crystal. Well, how did I miss that? Oh, it's probably because we killed a bunch of enemies right here. But this is fantastic, guys. Whew. I don't know about you, but with the difference in visuals coming from native resolution without anti-aliasing to DLSS quality here being so small, I think I would choose DLSS quality, guys. I mean, either way is completely fine, obviously. Come on, there we go. Oh, quick recover. Yes, come on. Let's go. Good stuff. Let's go in this direction, I guess. We're going inside some areas, so it's going to be less intensive, I think. Doesn't seem to be too much less intensive than it was outside, actually. Once I got inside of here, I saw it spike up to like 140 FPS or something, but now it's back to the same values as outside, which is interesting. I thought in a closed space like this it would be a little bit less intensive, but it's kind of the same once again. Alright, ooh, lots of them. What should we do? I don't know. Maybe go in this direction, yes. Let's avoid all of them. I think we actually gotta fight all of them. Okay. Alright, come to me, you bastards. Come to me. Only one at a time? Seriously? I don't want them to attack me only one at a time. I want some chaos. Come on. Please give me chaos. Thank you so much. Okay, there we go. Maybe we weren't supposed to attack them from there, you know? Maybe we were just supposed to hop into here and start attacking all of them at once. Yeah, goddamn. Okay, alright, let's go. And we're back outside. Interesting, good stuff. The graphics are growing on me. I'm not a fan of the bloom, but maybe it works for this type of game. Oh, weird water there. You're not supposed to go there, I guess. Let's go. Keep on going here. Now, obviously, you can also utilize some frame generation on top of DLSS or on top of native resolution if you want to. Also, in terms of the VRAM utilization, it's not too high. This is 4K resolution ultra settings, after all, without ray tracing. DLSS at the moment, but even at native resolution, I think a 12GB GPU would do just fine. And let's go fight them bastards now. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. I just love to do this. Come on, jump around and hit the bastards. There we go. But yeah, guys, I am really enjoying the fact that we finally got a smooth game. Now, I'm not sure if this is a good game in terms of, like, story and just the gameplay itself. Gameplay feels alright to me, actually. Obviously, this is not... Oh, my God. This is not a gameplay or a story review of the game, you know? This is just a performance review with the best specs ever. And this way I can, like, have an idea already on how it's gonna run in other systems, although I will still test other systems as well. I can't go in this direction. But yeah, it seems to be pretty stable in terms of frame times, and I like to see that, guys. It's something kind of refreshing compared to what we've been seeing lately. Again, let's stop it right there, though. And I'm gonna go to the settings here, disable the DLSS once again, and just enable frame generation here. So now it's FG over native resolution, okay? And with the controller, it should feel really nice. We gained about, what, like 30, 40, sometimes 50 frames per second compared to native resolution. Again, obviously, we were testing DLSS previously. So this is not that good compared to just DLSS quality. And in terms of input lag, I'm just gonna switch to mouse and keyboard right now. Yeah, it's not noticeable, guys. The FPS are high enough to where the input lag from frame generation is not noticeable whatsoever. This is really stable, it's really smooth. Frame time sometimes has a little bit of a weird thing happening, you know? It gets slightly thicker, but even then, I can't really feel any input lag disadvantage here, so... yeah, you're good, guys. Now, in terms of artifacting, it might have a little bit more artifacting than previously, because we got so much grass, you know, and so many details that... a slight ghosting effect might be noticeable, but it was also noticeable with DLSS quality and even at native resolution, I think, so there's that. Either way you choose, it's going to feel and look amazing, basically. DLSS quality or frame generation over native resolution. It's going to be a high refresh rate experience all of the time, as it should be, once again, for such an expensive GPU. Oh boy. Anyway, that's the experience with frame generation. It improves your FPS by a little bit. It's not really needed. It also seems like it adds some slight stutters sometimes. I'm seeing like micro stutters there in the frame time graph. Very consistent ones as well, as you can see. Tuck, 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 tuck. So, yeah. I'm not sure if I would utilize frame generation in this one, since the native resolution was already really, really good. But again, if you want to achieve like 144 frames per second, this is probably the way to do it. Now, DLSS quality with frame generation enabled at the same time. This should bump it up a lot. And it's 160s, 150s right now. So this way, I think you should max out a 144 Hz monitor all of the time. All right, let's go. Jump, jump, jump. Ooh, these guys have a lot of armor. All right, let's go. This one's gonna die already. Okay, good stuff. Oh boy, oh boy. I'm dying as well. I need to drink some healing. Wait. Let's go, let's go, let's go. All right, Bob, goodbye, goodbye. Good stuff, and now let's just heal ourselves. Here we go, all good, and we shall continue. Looking back at where we came from, yeah, getting like 160s. This is I mean, if you want to add all of these upscaling technologies, feel free to do so. The game still doesn't look bad or artifacty or anything, you know. If you're not looking for artifacts, you're likely not going to notice anything wrong with the picture, with FG and DLSS at the same time. Again, there might be a slight ghosting, but it's really slight. It's hard to tell. And, well, should we fight this guy? Hello? Alright, come on. Oh, yes, this is Bob. Okay. Okay, he has a lot of armor, at least. Probably a lot of HP as well. Come on. Let's go. Okay, he's calling his friends as well. Wait a second, wait a second. Wait. Okay. Here we go. Kick. Insane kick to the belly of Bob. Come on. We're almost getting him. Let's go. Good stuff. Very easy, but I'm playing this in story mode. That's why it's very easy as well. Come on. Let's go. There it is. Good stuff. I can kick him again. Boom. And Bob is dead. Goodbye, Bob. That was amazing. One of the best Bob kills ever, I guess. And I think it's time for us to try out that ray tracing, okay? Let's go to the graphics settings over here. I don't think it's needed in this video to test like 1440p and 1080p resolution with the 4090, you know, since the game is running so well. I might try some 8K a little bit later without ray tracing, but yeah, let's try ray tracing first, which a lot of people should utilize probably with the RTX 4090. I'm just going to disable DLSS and Frame Generation. We're going to do ray tracing at native resolution, and I'm going to restart the game as well to make sure that it fully applies ray tracing properly. Ooh boy, look at that power utilization in the menu with the ray tracing enabled. Damn. Okay. So here we are, native 4K with ray tracing, still getting us pretty decent FPS as you can see. Let's grab this thing. Pretty impressive actually, because ray tracing is super demanding. If you play, for example, Cyberpunk with ray tracing enabled, it will wreck the 4090. Actually, even on ultra settings without ray tracing, Cyberpunk drops a little bit from 60 FPS, sometimes in extreme scenarios, only in the DLC and Dogtown, which is the most intensive area. But yeah, this is pretty impressive that we're playing natively with ray tracing, but ray tracing here isn't really making that big of a difference, I think, in terms of visual fidelity. I mean, yeah, it looks good. It probably fixes some of that bloom and makes it look a little bit better, but it's not huge, the difference with ray tracing and without ray tracing. Oh my gosh. So I don't think it's worth the performance drop. Previously, we were probably getting like, what, around 100 FPS in this area, which is not as intensive as the forest, once again, where we started. So that means that in the forest area, it would probably drop from 60 FPS, since the lowest that we've seen here is 62 or something like that. But again, if you want to max out everything, you bought that 4090 for a reason, so just play with ray tracing, I guess. Even at native resolution, it's doing well. So when we start enabling frame generation or just DLSS quality, it will be even better, obviously. Dropping slightly from 60 FPS there in the cutscenes. I'm just skipping the cutscenes right now. Oh boy, now that's Bob. Okay, there we go. So we're gameplay again. We're playing the game. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Come on, Bob. I want to use my not enough rage. Alright, I need some more rage. How do I get rage? I actually don't know. Yes, this is very accurate, actually. The guy that we're fighting is an ogre. So, Bob is an ogre. And it makes sense, because he's ugly as heck, right? Boy, oh boy. Alright, let's go. Quick recover. Okay, now this. There it is. There it is. Come on. Come on. Let's get more rage. Oh, this is actually pretty easy, guys. Once again, I'm playing this on the easiest difficulty, so there's that. Oh boy, oh boy. Quick recover. Let's go, let's go. Oh, I missed. Oh boy! No. Okay, I was saying this is easy. This is probably a little bit harder than I was expecting. Come on, what is this? Ultimate ability. I have an ultimate. Interesting. Let's go. Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh, that's insane! Good! Good stuff. Alright, thanks for nothing, teammates, by the way. That's probably my fault. I should play with them as well. Alright, 50-something FPS there. So it's basically only dropping into the high 50s with ray tracing at native resolution, which is actually really good. We're just gonna go to the forest area now and check it out there, which is a little bit more intensive. And yep, indeed, it is dropping into the 50s and low 50s at times. When we started, at least looking in this direction, get like 53. Yep, there we go. Still, it doesn't feel bad at all with the controller and with G-Sync enabled, you know. It's fine. I could play the game still like this. Still dropping slightly sometimes into the 40s now. Look at that, 41 frames per second minimum with that effect. Some of the effects seem to be pretty intensive, guys, but hey, it is working just fine. With ray tracing at native resolution, I could still enjoy the hell out of this game like this, especially with a controller once again. Now let's try DLSS quality without frame generation first, okay? And here we went from like 60 to 80 frames per second, so it shouldn't really drop. So I'm just loading the previous save once again, getting 70s instead of like 50. I mean, we did get 53 FPS. Now we're getting like 73 minimum over in this area. 71 right there, 70. So it's a big improvement. 17 FPS improvement or 20 FPS improvement at times. Not bad at all, actually. Considering it's ray tracing once again. Considering the price of the GPU, I mean, yeah, you're paying a lot for it. So I think it should be cheaper, obviously. But yeah, in terms of performance, you can't really complain. Over here, it dropped to like 41 FPS previously. Now it didn't even drop from 60, so it's really stable at the moment. Okay, so I just went back to the city area, guys. This is the initial part of the game, and I wanted to check it out here with the ray tracing because we got a lot of lights. It's nighttime, you know, so it's pretty interesting to take a look at. It's a very pretty scene as well, and it is less intensive than the forest area, as you can see. Even with ray tracing enabled, and given that we have a lot of lights and so on, I thought, yeah, it's probably a little bit more intensive in the city area than the forest area, but no, that's definitely not the case, guys. So yeah, guys, this is probably the section of the game that you see in other videos from other benchmarkers and so on, because it's the initial part, and people might think it's intensive. Once again, I thought so as well, myself. But it's not really as intensive, as you can see. It gets 96 FPS average. And now we're back to this place. Let's check it out for a little bit. Getting very similar FPS to what we saw in the city at the moment, because it's not a forest area, it doesn't have vegetation. So as usual, you're going to see the lowest FPS in this game, as plenty of other titles, and that is in forest areas with a lot of vegetation. Let's see the effects over here, not a problem. All good, 90 still. And fighting the bastard here with ray tracing enabled and no frame generation, but DLSS quality here. It is working just fine. 90 FPS. Ultimate is ready. Yeah, there we go. Interestingly, all of these effects don't even affect the FPS. It's still super stable. And now we're back to the most intensive area that I've been to so far, the forest area. Let's enable frame generation on top of DLSS quality. And here, instead of getting like 72 frames per second, we're up into the 100s. So if you want that smooth experience, like high refresh rate experience with ray tracing enabled, just enable DLSS quality plus FG. And you're gonna get that, still with very good graphics, slightly softer than it was at native resolution or with DLSS quality alone, and no frame generation. Lots of vegetation once again, not a problem to the graphics. It's a little bit noisy, I guess. Some of the leaves of the grass, you know, but it still looks really good, so not a problem. This is the way to go if you want RT and still want that high refresh rate experience. And now let's disable DLSS, go back to native resolution with frame generation enabled. And here, it is pretty decent still, getting close to 100 frames per second. In terms of input lag with the controller, I can't feel anything wrong with it. But in terms of input lag with the mouse and keyboard, yeah, there's nothing. There's nothing to complain about there either. It just comes down to what you prefer. Do you prefer a high refresh rate experience? Also, lots of artifacting here, climbing the stairs around our character there because of frame generation. But yeah, if you prefer the highest FPS possible with ray tracing at 4K, enable DLSS quality plus frame generation, it's going to look really, really good still and get you those 120 FPS average or so. If you prefer getting like 90 to 100 frames per second, either choose DLSS quality or frame generation alone over native. I guess frame generation over native will get you some artifacting issues here and there, which can be annoying to look at, and DLSS quality is just going to be slightly softer than that. And lastly, I want to check out some 8K resolution with the 4090 here. So I have disabled the upscalers and frame generation, and I also have disabled the ray tracing here on the settings, but we're still on ultra settings. Yeah, okay, so this is... it all feels a little off. I couldn't agree more today. Okay. Now the graphics are absolutely insane, of course, right now, super crispy, but yeah, with these FPS it's obviously going to be an unplayable experience. Maybe with like medium settings it would get up into like the 30s, but yeah, it is not something that you want to do with the 4090 or any GPU. 8K is still way too much, especially in recent titles, no matter how well optimized they are. Now, if you do have an 8K TV or something that you play games on with an RTX 4090, the best way to go, I think, is with DLSS performance, because this will still give you very good graphics quality. I can't really tell a difference in terms of visuals. Maybe it's slightly softer, ever so slightly softer, but it is not noticeable, guys. And I'm using a 42-inch monitor for this, so there's that. If it's not noticeable on a 42-incher, it's not going to be noticeable on anything lower than that, you know? And this way, it is actually going to be a playable experience, especially with the controller, once again. Oh boy, come on, Bob. Bob's friend, actually. Bob is the last one that we need to kill. Let's go. Cutscene time. Let's check it out with this effect right here, dropping into the low 40s, high 30s, mid 30s sometimes on worst case scenario. But yeah, over in this area now, which is not really that easy to run, especially compared to like city areas and so on and closed spaces. Yeah, it's dropping from 60 slightly sometimes, but most of the time it's holding 60 frames per second just fine, guys. It's very, very close to 60. I think if you overclocked the RTX 4090, if the power draw doesn't bother you, of course, it bothers me already, it's at 400 watts plus. But if that doesn't bother you, you could overclock the card to achieve slightly higher performance as well, maybe like 5 to 10% or something like that, and it will put you above 60 FPS most of the time. What about 16K? I'm curious. Oh my, no, it's already struggling a lot. Oh, it's starting to swap things that should be on VRAM into the RAM at this point. I think I'm gonna utilize like low settings. Does this even go up to... Oh, I think this only goes up to 150% resolution scale. I'm trying here, guys. Look at that VRAM. Ooh, it's swapping a lot into the RAM. RAM usage is super high at the moment, as is VRAM usage as well. Adjusting these settings. Okay, so we gotta restart the game to apply the texture quality. Alright guys, so 16K isn't possible, but 150% of 8K resolution is still a huge resolution, okay? This basically means that we're playing the game at 12K resolution. But now we're on the low settings. I'm also curious to see how the low settings look, because I haven't seen the game on low settings yet. I played on medium settings with that other system that I played the game with. And here we have it. Low settings are still looking pretty decent, although, yeah, the grass isn't as dense or detailed. Obviously, ooh, there's a big difference in terms of character models and stuff like that. It looked way better previously on Ultra. But I mean, it's low settings, so they should look bad, and it still doesn't look bad. So I think this game should have like a very low graphics preset or something like that. And if you're wondering the experience at 12K resolution, here we are. It's getting teens, 14 FPS right there. Oh my gosh. Yeah, those textures they reduced a lot compared to Ultra textures here. But that's good. That's a good thing, of course. Oh boy, no, the character models look way worse. But yeah, that's about it for this one, guys. Thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed this look at Dragon Age the Veilguard. Oh, the water. The water looks like Call of Duty Warzone's water now. Give it a like if you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one very soon. If you're interested in more Dragon Age benchmarks, let me know. I could test like 4060s and so on, maybe like the 60s in a single video. That would be fun as well. So let me know in a comment down below, and I'll see what else I'll do this week. Catch you in the next one. Love you all. Bye-bye.